Meaning, if something happened, there's nothing I can do about it.
Excuse me, sir. Can I talk to you about your car's extended warranty, please? No, thank you. All right,
okay.
maybe next time. Have a good one.
Welcome back to a break. Actually, I can't even see myself. Hold up. Welcome back to a new video. Welcome to Antigua. So I realized I never actually told you why I'm considering leaving New York, and that's kind of important for the video. See, there's two main reasons why I think I'm kind of big on this idea of moving out to somewhere with just a different pace. See, now the first reason is exactly what I just said. A change of pace. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love New York. New York will always be home. But sometimes you do want something just a little bit slower. New York is always go, 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 work, 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 work. Get the money, get the money, get the money. I would like something that's just a little bit slower every now and then. You know, whether that's down south or, am I pointing? A tropical island. That's reason number one. And number two, which is equally as important, is I'm fortunate to say that I can afford to live in New York somewhat comfortably. I could pay my rent, have a decent car, have a nice car, and pretty much enjoy all the luxuries that New York has to offer for the average person, I would say. But I don't think anyone could doubt the fact that New York, the Mecca, financial Mecca, is extremely expensive. And the cost of living in almost anywhere else is extremely, just greatly cheaper than living in New York. So those are my two main reasons as far as why I'm heavily considering leaving and going somewhere else. Change of pace, cost of living. Now don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean that I'm just gonna completely move out of New York and just never go back. That's not the case. In fact, it's kind of the exact opposite. See, I love New York and I want to be in New York, just not 12 months out the year if I don't have to be. And I realize I don't have to be, which is the point of this video. I also believe that whatever you tell yourself is going to be true. So if you tell yourself that you can't leave the state that you're in, or you can't work remotely for whatever reason, then that's going to be a reality. But if you tell yourself, and which we know is for a fact, that you can do those things, then it becomes easier to work towards it. My easiest rental property, as far as least amount of headache, is a property that's not located in New York that I have minimal to do with. So if I don't have to physically be in that state, why do I have to physically be in New York to mention New York properties? And I will say the cost of living out here is considerably cheaper. So when it comes to food, drinks, transportation, I've noticed a huge difference, which means that I get to keep the money that I'm making out in the States here when I come to these islands, which is a plus. You save more money. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be that easy to get things done and just get up and move and leave your business or find a new job. No, that's not the case. Now, it's definitely possible to do. Good morning.
Hi, this is Emma from the Vehicle Service Center. We have not received a reply to notices that you have received in the mail regarding your vehicle service contract.
It doesn't matter what country you're in. You're still going to get those calls. Let's see how far Antigua is from Brooklyn, New York. I am 1,783 miles away from the majority of my properties. Meaning, if something happened, there's nothing I can do about it. Let's get some examples. If there was a fire, I mean, I could get the fire extinguisher, but by the time I get there, obviously, you know, you should have used the fire extinguisher or it should be out. If there's a leak, I'm gonna call the plumber, and the plumber is gonna have a better chance of fixing it than I am. If there's a crime, police, pretty much there's nothing that I could physically do if I was there that I wouldn't call someone else to do anyway. So the only difference now is I'm calling them 1,700 miles away. And that's actually what I've been doing. While I've been here, a few buyers reached out to me to represent them in transactions, buyer clients, and nothing changed. I still operated the same way I would as if I was physically, you know, a couple miles away from them in New York. We got on the phone, we discussed what their options are, what they're looking for, and our course of action to help them buy a home. The only difference now would be when it comes to showing them a homes. Will I physically be there, or will I have another coworker or an agent open the door for them and show them the home and then discuss with them after? Generally speaking, I would like to physically be there, but even if based on how many clients I have, I'm not always able to physically show all homes anyway. So once again, nothing's really changed. So it means that I don't necessarily need to spend 24/7, 12 months out the year in one specific area. I could probably move around and still function as normal business. There are some cons though. I think something that you should consider though before making this jump is health insurance. If you have an option to work remotely from your corporation that you work for, then most likely they won't offer the same health insurance benefits that they do in the state you live in versus if you were to leave. So if you live in California and they're giving you benefits, then chances are you won't get those same benefits if you were to move to Wyoming. So that's something you do have to consider as well. That'll be the number one factor in my eyes if you were to just go out and work remotely. Otherwise, I do think it's definitely possible. Something else you may want to consider as well is there a time difference from where your business typically operates? Are you on the same schedule? Are you an hour, a couple hours behind or ahead? Because that would affect the people who you're doing business with. If you are going to sleep when they're waking up, then it might not be that productive to wherever you're trying to move to. But in my case, let's say take Antigua for example, I'm on the same time zone as New York. That means that business hours are exactly the same. So while I may be out and let's say I'm at the beach, I'm operating in the same hours that they are. My location just changed, that's it. So I'm still sending emails out at the same time, 9 a.m. to roughly about 5, 6 p.m. And I'm still searching and setting up showings around the same time I would as if I was there physically. So I do think the majority of people can actually work remotely, whether they are self-employed or they, work for another company that offers remote work. It solely depends on whatever you're doing. Does it physically require you to be there? Now, if you're a cashier, that's something different. There's a physical store location, you have to be there. Or if you do something like hair, maybe you could be a traveling hairstylist. But if you do something like what I do, real estate, if you do marketing, coding, maybe you're behind the scenes in healthcare, just consulting, there's so many avenues that you could take that wouldn't require you to be located in one physical area all the time. And this goes out for the real estate investors who may be worried that they have to physically be located wherever the property is. Can I move to a different country and still manage all my businesses? We're about to find out. So this is day, what is today? This is day 2 of staying in Antigua, and I really want to know, is it possible for me to move out the country and still operate and function the way I normally do now as if I was still in New York? I like the view, I like the calmness and the pace of island life, like when I go to Jamaica, St. Lucia, and now Antigua. But I also want to still maintain the income that I receive while living in high income earnings areas such as New York. I'm here for a couple days, about a week or so, and this would be a good test to see, is it possible to still function and operate the way I do normally? Or do I have to figure out another alternative to balance out obtaining this lifestyle while also still getting the income that I get from somewhere else? This week will definitely let me know whether or not I can close this deal while being out the country, which will kind of give me the encouragement that I need to say, hey, I'm gonna move forward with this move. Not necessarily this island, but just in general. For this video, mainly focus on, is it possible to manage your business while living abroad? We'll see. Wait, by the way, how y'all feeling the open shirt? Like island life, it's kind of hot. What you think? What you think? I like it. Okay, so I didn't really plan it all the way out as far as if I were to actually buy a property here, because I didn't come here with the intention to buy a property. Those are some luxury villas that range, I believe, from maybe $350,000 to about $500,000. Here in this location, is almost a little bit south of Antigua. There's not much going on around. Listen, there's beaches all over the place, right? Beaches galore, 365 to be exact. But as far as like grocery shops and like attractions and things to do, I haven't found that there's much to do on this part of the island. Now, granted, the property is nice, but what do you do otherwise? And for that price, does it make sense? If I'm only going to be spending maybe 3 to 5 months out the year here. I guess the point would be something that's affordable where the money makes sense because I'm not there the entire amount of time throughout the year as I would be if I were to live here. Something else to think about. Excuse all the music in the background, but guess who just crashed their drone trying to fly it off this cliff to get this view? So, still in Antigua. I'm supposed to be checking in more often about the whole working from home, working out the country type of vibe. It's been successful. Trying to get some content out here, and the view is absolutely amazing. So I decided to fly my drone to get some video, some B-roll for this video exactly, for this YouTube. And also get some pictures that I might want to frame later. For those of you who don't know, I used to be a photographer, still am a photographer. And I wasn't paying attention. Oh man, this doesn't look good at all. I was not paying attention and I was reversing the drone. And can you see that? Look at you see that little, that's not supposed to be like that. I don't know if you can hear me because of the music in the background, but that's the update. Otherwise, trip is still amazing. Still trying to figure out would I live here for part of the year while operating my real estate business in the States. We're gonna find out. Here's what I learned every time I go on vacation for an extended period of time, at least 7 days, right? The world doesn't stop when you decide to leave or you decide to put something on pause, whether that's your business, leaving your family, your friends, your hometown. The world is still going to operate and function as it does. Just because you moved your location or changed your environment does not mean things go on pause. A lot of things has to be done in my real estate business that they're not stopping just because I'm gone. Systems are in place for me to operate and function as I would do normally. Now, obviously it's not 100% the same because the presence of Jalil himself is not in New York, but everything doesn't have to stop completely just because you're gone. Your business could still thrive if you decide to, take a week off, take 2 weeks off, maybe take 3 months off, I don't know. But the point is, it is possible, and you have to remove that fear of saying that you're going to stay in an area simply because I guess your business is located. If you have a physical restaurant location and it absolutely requires you to be there, maybe. A lot of things can be done remotely, whether that's Zoom call, FaceTime, text messages, phone calls. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to physically go somewhere. I'm realizing that more and more as I go along, which is giving me the confidence to be like, maybe, just maybe, I can consider or even really dive into moving somewhere else. So it is the last day in this beautiful island known as Antigua, and here's my thoughts overall as far as the working remote situation. Can you believe I've been saving this passion fruit for the last day because I feel like it just needs to be the last thing that I taste before I leave this island. It's only right. It tastes exactly just like passion fruit. Alright, so here's my thoughts on the working remote, and is it possible? Short answer, yes. Although, there are a few challenges. One thing I did notice, for me specifically, as I mentioned, a few buyers hit me up because they wanted to have me as their agent to represent them when they're buying a house. And one of the buyers wants me, they want me to physically be there. And I get it because I've built my brand on my name, so the idea of someone else showing them property doesn't make them feel at most comfortable. And this is normal. Does it really change anything as far as the amount of attention that they get? No. In fact, it may even be better because you're getting more people to assist you and answer your questions than just Jalil. But that is something you're going to encounter if you're in a business where you are the brand and you're not physically there to, touch the people. But otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Nothing's really changed. Now, it's not as if I would be here 24/7, 365. It's more so, can you leave home base for 2-3 weeks or maybe even 2 to 3 months? That's the idea, and I think, yeah, you can. I probably really should be packing right now. Flights in now, and still gotta drop off the rental car. But I'm clearly still on island time. But, let me know if I missed anything that, I didn't think of that you wanted to know. And yeah, and I'll answer in the next video. Otherwise, appreciate you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.